So, I got in a lot of trouble on my page today being controversial, talking about that couple that was welcoming their 100th grandchild in Illinois. And me and my big mouth, I said that that was disgusting because that's my opinion. I think it is disgusting to have 12 kids who then have 53 grandchildren among them, and then you have 54 some odd grandchildren, great grandchildren. It's too many kids. The planet isn't meant to hold a trillion people, and the way that we're headed, it's so unsustainable. And I feel like it's a really irresponsible decision. I've talked about this before. It's not a popular sentiment. I know that. And I know that people don't appreciate being told that they shouldn't be having as many kids. They think that that's their right. It's especially difficult to talk to anyone who's in any capacity religious because they think that it's like manifest destiny, go out and have as many kids, procreate as much as possible because that's anyway, you can't reason with people like that. So I I guess I'm sorry that I offended a bunch of people, but I think that they need to step back and actually use a critical mind and look at our environment and the destruction on the planet that we're causing. So I'm not saying don't have any. Like 1 to 3 is a reasonable amount. Just replace yourself with a person. You don't have to replace yourself with 6 people and then your partner has 6 people replacing them because that is exponential growth. Just it branches out and you don't want to take over. It's such a narcissistic, arrogant thing to think like I'm going to make little carbon copies of myself and they're going to go forth and have kids. And it's just think about how much resource every single person is taking. Each person is another potentially like 95-year lifespan of flushing the toilet 8 times a day, eating 3 meals, driving. Think about how many tons of plastic are just going to be like accountable for us as individuals. And it's daunting. And I really became a fan of the voluntary human extinction movement. I'm a little tired at work, sorry, I'm slurring my speech. Voluntary human extinction movement is the idea that people can take a step back and say, maybe I don't need kids, and my life isn't going to be ruled by social constructs and pressure from family members or peer. It's really not a cookie cutter lifestyle, one size fits all anymore. People are able to make decisions and say, maybe I don't want to get married, or if I do, maybe I don't want to have a conventional marriage. And there's things going around now, and you don't necessarily have to be a part of them to just appreciate the fact that we're branching out as a society and things are much more acceptable now, like women in their 40s and 50s being alone and being about their career and their own life, and it doesn't have to be all about a family. I think that's empowering, and you can have polyamorous couples, people who don't want to go along with the confines of what society is telling them is important. It's not like a Disney movie. So I appreciate that. And I got in a lot of trouble. People were on my page saying that I was like a horrible person. And what I'm wondering is, why are they on my page if they don't agree with me? They didn't just say their opinion and leave. They got into like hour-long debates about this stuff, and it's my fault for participating. And my friend Erin said, these people are just being sea lions. They're sea lioning you. And I had never heard that term. I totally agreed with it as soon as she showed me. So I should just let it go and let sea lions be sea lions, and I don't need to give an explanation if you don't agree with me. That's okay. And if you want to have a reasoned debate, that's cool too. But I'm always going to stand up for the planet, and I have environmental concerns. I care about animal welfare. I am a vehement feminist, and I'm not going to tolerate racism or sexism or other kinds of bigotry. And I feel like there's a bigotry towards the planet where people are okay leaving their television on all the time. They're going to drive to the store even though it's only 8 blocks away. They're just addicted to their comfort, and we're all so concerned with having the most lavish lifestyle that we can possibly afford. So we want to get that better job, therefore we need the better college, therefore we need the better grades all throughout high school, and it's just a cycle so that we can buy more stuff. And it doesn't fulfill you as a person. It's fun, and I love things just as much as the next guy, but I'm aware that it's not going to make you happy in the long run. So I don't know. I guess, yeah, I was in a really good mood today because I got a bunch of really beautiful YouTube comments. You guys, I hope you know how much you have the power to affect me. Like, I'm literally about to cry thinking about it. But somebody said for my kombucha video that I was really, what did she say? Something to the effect of like, I was concise but also thorough and like gifted at communicating. And that was just such a thoughtful compliment. Like, I don't know. I really appreciate that kind of thing. And then people are saying that I just seemed like a genuine, caring, honest person, things like that. And I love hearing that. I mean, like, I don't know. I don't really like compliments, and I don't really like want the channel to be about like flattery. But it was really, really nice to see that, and especially because YouTube can be so hostile. So then I got into a debate about that with my friend. Why is YouTube so critical, and not just critical, but like hateful? And I don't know if you guys have noticed this. It's this phenomenon where obviously online you have a lot of people trolling and being really negative and not very nice, but especially on YouTube, it seems like that brings out the worst in people. So we got into this kind of back and forth of why is it like that? And I brought up the fact that YouTube, this venue, is kind of like TV-esque. So it's TV-like in the sense that you're watching something. You don't really need your brain turned on as much as reading an article or something in depth. It's not very scientific. So because it's kind of TV-like, maybe it's attracting maybe like a dumber class of people along with all the other people who are watching. But that doesn't explain why it's mean. So we got into it. The anonymity, of course, like with Facebook, you're kind of accountable because supposedly it's your real name and your face, and your friends are connected so they might see what you're commenting. So you kind of feel like responsible for what you say because people are going to read it. And that's how I would say the majority of people use Facebook. Whereas on YouTube, it's not necessarily your real name, and you're not necessarily contributing anything like to the YouTube society. The community is made up of people who post videos, people who comment, people who do both, like me. But a lot of the people are just consuming, and then they also are being very critical. And why are they like that? It's fairly obvious, I think. People are kind of sad and lonely, and they just lash out and they want to say negative things because it makes them feel important for a few minutes, like they have a voice and their opinion matters. But it's kind of a shallow, fleeting power, so they do it a lot. So because of that, there's like a great volume from the same exact person probably going around for hours just saying negative things. It's kind of curious why they don't just go watch things that they do enjoy instead of hating on people and being such a troll. I guess I'll never really identify with that or understand why. Like, what's the point in just going around being like, you're ugly, I don't like this, da 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 F word. It's just, I don't get it. So if you have any ideas on that, I'm curious to start another debate on that because it's really cool. But I just wanted to say thank you. I wanted to say my views on having kids. I feel like we have deforestation, we have fracking, we have unemployment, we have, I don't know, there's such a huge instance of like cancer and things that are going around. I feel like nature is trying to slow us down. And because we're trying to feed such a huge population, we go for the easiest route possible and we want to put in a keystone pipeline and we want to spray our foods with pesticides and we want to like cut corners and it's not very healthy and we put chemicals in everything, and because we want to get to work quickly and we want that great job that's an hour away, we drive, we have these long commutes, we pollute, and then our air isn't clean and then we get sick because of it. And I feel like we're at capacity and nature is saying, please slow down, don't live this way. And of course there's a movement towards small backyard gardens, organic gardening. People are doing like rooftop gardens, indoor gardens, and taking over lots, and it's beautiful the way that people are coming together and people are going for things like homesteading, and I think it's wonderful. But I don't know if the majority of people in this country care. And I feel like apathy is rampant. And until we get people who are less oblivious and less obsessed with comfort, it's not really going to improve. That's just my humble opinion. So if you disagree, go ahead and say so. Just, I don't like when people come on my personal Facebook page and just argue for hours and then like attack me personally and say that I'm like a really bad person, because I don't think that I am. I think that I'm allowed to voice my opinion, that certain behaviors are disgusting. And I think having 12 kids is kind of disgusting. I know that these people did it back in like the 40s or whenever it was, so it's a different era. But in this day and age, I think that we need to stop romanticizing that. Like, getting pregnant isn't an accomplishment. Congratulations to everybody who had kids who wanted them, but I don't think we should give a TV show to a 15-year-old because she didn't practice safe sex. And I don't think that we should give a reality TV show to a couple of, I want to say, idiots just because they had 19 kids, some of whom happen to be sexual abusers. So I'm really tired of people being like, this is something we're going to glorify, like acting irresponsibly and having all these kids, and can you financially take care of them? Can you give them the attention that they need? Is it a good example to set for other people? And I don't think it's acceptable as a society to reward that and say, like, here's, you know, a TLC show and you get to be famous and have all this money coming in because I don't know, whatever. So enough about that, but thanks for watching. I mixed a bunch of topics in here. I guess I'm just trying to make more videos, and this is what came up today. So thank you so much for all of your positive comments. I really, really appreciate them. I swear, I don't know how to say it enough, but coming on here and reading what you guys have to say, I love it. I always take a few minutes of every day and I come on and hopefully I've managed to do a good combination of not caring about negativity, but also taking to heart the beauty. So if people are going to be negative, that's their agenda and it's their prerogative. You just kind of have to block it out and have a thick skin. But on the inverse of that, I cherish what you guys have to say, and I love your beautiful comments, so thank you, and I will make more videos soon, and in the meantime, I'm going to try to stop being so controversial because people got real upset when I hated on that grandma and grandpa, so yeah. Hope you have a great week. I will talk to you guys soon.